Welcome back. Welcome back to For the Love of Baby Boomers. And we're here with Miss Sitrena Woodson, and she's talking about chronic illnesses, and she left off by talking about sickle cell anemia. So we're back. Sitrena, would you please continue?
So as I've been journeying through this sickle cell, what I've learned is the things I used to enjoy, like I can't overexert myself. This is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. Some of you may have seen me in recent years because I participated in the Sickle Cell Ride, Unity Ride, which was a huge community event that involved a motorcycle parade that went from Petersburg up to Richmond. And that's how we raised money for the Florence Neal Cooper Smith Professorship at VCU. They have a pediatric and an adult sickle cell clinic here in Richmond, and that's where their research is funded through. So over the 15 years that I participated, we raised over $150,000 for sickle cell research. Since we no longer, this was our last year, 2024 was our 15th and our last year doing the motorcycle ride for sickle cell, but they do walks. So the walk has already occurred in September, but you are still able to make donations to VCU at the Florence Neal Cooper Smith Professorship at VCU for sickle cell research.
Okay.
Sickle cell impact.
I would like to jump in and just state there's listeners, and they hear you saying Petersburg and Richmond, and they may not know what state or whatever because we're national. So we are in the state of Virginia that she's talking about, but I'm sure they have walks and rides and all different kind of funding that they raise money for this disease in different states. And if you have a state, something that's going on in your state and you want to share, please go to our Facebook page or our Gmail and let us know. Continue, please.
Yes, and then they also have a complete National Institute of Health page, and it's called SCD, Sickle Cell Disease, scd.org. And you can find any of your state-affiliated programs that, such as they have them at Johns Hopkins. They have them at most major teaching hospitals in whatever state or locality that you live. Okay. That's a great,
Okay.
And so one of the things that I was saying that I tried to do in reaching out for chronic health, because over time sickle cell wore out my heart, so I have a pacemaker.
Oh my gosh.
Again, I just enjoy. So I used to do a lot of activities. Like I used to, like I said, exercising and doing aerobics. Well, now I do water aerobics, and instead of maybe playing volleyball or outside running about, I picked up riding a three-wheeler. I love to garden. I took up crocheting in the wintertime. So dealing with chronic illness is just as much of a mindset as it is a physical thing. So you have to find physicians that, one, will hear you as you age and not just say, oh, you're just getting older. Because you're right, Dolores, we know our bodies. And as we age, yes, things can wear out, but nobody is saying just because you're getting older you're supposed to also be more sick.
Right.
So make sure that you have a physician that listens to you, that you can relate to, and is not just pushing, and this is just a me thing, my opinion, not just pushing pharmaceuticals. If you need medication, take medication, but if there's something you can do to keep your body in tip-top shape as we age, we owe it to ourselves to live our best life.
You know, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. And one of the things you said is a mindset. I absolutely agree with that. I just did a show, and on that show I said, it's not about saying, well, why me? Why me? It's about what you can do for you. What can I do? What can I do? You know?
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, we age gradually. We don't age overnight. So if something is working today and next week you're feeling terrible, please go talk to somebody and get somebody to look at it and see why, and don't let them say, oh, well, you're just getting older, because if it was working last week, it should still be working this week, even if it works a little differently.
Yes, yes. Wow. Okay. This is just good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. But you know what? It's good information. But you really surprised me. I look at this lady, y'all, and she looks like she's like 25, 30. Okay. She really,
Well,
really carries herself well. But it's a mindset. You could hear it. You can hear
and
it.
they said to me when I came out of work, because I came out of work fighting, kicking, and screaming. But they said to me, your job now is to stay healthy. And I took that to heart.
Yes.
So I really, when my father was aging and he lived to be 94, so longevity is in our genes, but as he started slowing down and he started getting a little round in the middle, I was trying to say, well, how about if we don't get him the reclining chair that will stand him up? How about if we let him get his own stuff up and down? How about if we not cooking all his meals for him, but let him continue to cook and we sit in the kitchen and talk to him while he cooks? Because he enjoys cooking. And keep our elderly people moving. Last week, we funeralized a lady from church that was 102. And her 96th, 97th, and 98th birthday, all she wanted to do was to have me take her on my 3-wheeler for a ride around town.
All right.
And that's what we did. We would get on the motorcycle, and for her 97th birthday, I took her to Jamaica House on Broad Street. And when she got off and took her helmet off and everybody saw, that she was an elderly person, and they were surprised how old she was. She was like, oh, I feel like a celebrity. And she used to tell me, she said, death's going to have to chase me down. I'm not going to sit and wait for it.
Go ahead.
If we could adopt that mindset that as long as I'm able to, I intend to, I think that a lot of us will not just live longer, but will live well longer.
Yes, live well longer. Yeah, quality, a quality life.
It's a quality, yes, quality of life.
Mm-hmm. This is really awesome information. I want to thank you.
Enjoy it. Don't stop learning, don't stop learning and don't stop moving. And it does get a little harder. There's a lot of days that I felt because it's painful, and I have stairs. Okay. My granddaughter left her dog with me when she went off to college. And at first, when I tell you I was not happy with that dog, but when I look back at it, that dog probably was my saving grace, because there's a lot of days I probably would not have tackled those stairs if I didn't have to take the dog outside.
Oh, but the dog made you do it.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes we make life too easy on ourselves.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yes. And something that I was just brought aware of, I kept becoming anemic. And even with sickle cell disease, because I don't have sickle cell anemia, I should not have my blood count shouldn't have kept dropping as low as it was. And I was having more and more pain crises. And I did not want them to increase my pain medications.
Right.
So I kept going back and forth to the doctor, and come to find out my vitamin B12 was being depleted, which was making me anemic, and it was sending my body into all kinds of uproar. And so now just something as simple as vitamin B12, and I can see the difference.
Yeah.
I can really see the difference.
Okay. Yeah. I think a lot of people can recognize that. I know I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Vitamin B. Yeah. So you have lived with it. You're living with it. You're raising funds. You're making it people aware of it. This is all great. This is all your job too, So you left your job to take care of yourself. That was your job, but it's also your job to let people know about sickle cell and about other chronic illnesses.
Yes. And like with my heart, something the doctor said to me kind of stuck with me, because when my heart rate started slowing down, it was maybe a couple of months after my father passed in 2019, but I was still being very active. So I thought I was just sad over my dad passing.
Okay.
And I just was sleeping more, not having a good appetite. And when it finally came time for me they put me in the hospital for 6 days. They couldn't get my heart rate out of the 20s. And the gentleman asked me, he said, "Man, why did you stay home by yourself so long if you was feeling like this?" And I told him, wasn't nothing hurting me. Like, I wasn't in pain. I was just tired. I thought I was feeling sad.
Right. You were just
He said,
resting your tired. You were tired, so you probably felt like you needed to rest.
yeah, and I was taking clear advantage, like you said, making life easy for ourselves. I was taking clear advantage of living on my own and not having to answer or be accountable to anybody. So I started sleeping on the sofa because it was too much for me to go up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I started ordering out instead of cooking for myself.
Oh, so you were getting less and less active.
Yes.
Sitrena,
and he told me,
let me interrupt
yes.
you for a minute. I hear a little one back behind you, a little one barking, trying to get your attention. What kind of dog do you have?
She is a mixture. She is a Pomeranian. Yes, she's a Chihuahua Pomeranian Rat Terrier.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to close the door and see if I can drown her out.
She's all right.
She's an attention diva.
Sitrena, we could hear you just fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she could do her thing. She could bark if she want.
Yeah, but like I said, once I realized that she was really a blessing instead of a curse, me and her have become so close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fun because I didn't think I wanted another. Matter of fact, I know I didn't want another dog just because of the responsibility and the schedule I was trying to keep.
Right.
But she's a pleasure.
Yeah, I could say the same. I just recently adopted a dog, and I hadn't had a dog in a couple of years, and I had my reasons for not getting one. I want to travel. I want to do this, whatever. But this little dog I have, boy, they come into your life for a reason. They take care of you. You thinking you taking care of them. They taking care of you, keeping you alive and well.
Yeah.
And active, having you go up and down the stairs even though you don't want to.
Even though you don't want to. And they have their own little personalities. Like I said, I know she's a diva. If she and I are just sitting here, she's comfortable being quiet and we watch TV. Like, if literally when it's dinner time, once I say the grace and I say the grace out loud, even though it's just me and her, she won't eat until she hear me say the grace or until she hears me fixing my food. Then she'll eat even if her food has been down all day. She has her own little personality, and she's the cutest little thing because she's not a big dog.
Yeah, so you have trained her really. And, we had a show on dogs and, companionship. And this it's incorporated right here. Because, they give you companionship and love, but they help you stay right and tight, too, because you're teaching, you're moving, you're doing more than sitting in the house by yourself. And that could drain you.
Yes.
Something to care about other than you and your issues, Yeah.
And that's another thing I wanted to say is, maybe you don't feel like you're a people person, but get out and maybe volunteer, because they say if you stop concentrating on yourself and concentrate on somebody else, just the act of nurturing someone else or acts of kindness makes you feel better, because it takes the focus off of whatever is draining you about your own situation. So I volunteer. I love going to the library. You'd be surprised the people that you meet and that you have things in common with just by volunteering.
Right.
So I volunteer, I don't go to the senior centers per se, but they have a lot of groups geared toward our age group, starting at 55 and up.
Okay.
They do line dancing, they do chair yoga, they do water aquatics. So find something to do, and even if you're not a people person, you'll be surprised at how much your day is lightened up just by making somebody else smile or seeing somebody else smile.
All right, Sitrena. And with that, we at the end of this segment. Oh, this is all good stuff. Good stuff. Again, for the love of baby boomers, you can contact us on Facebook page for the love of baby boomers. That's the number 4 when you're looking us up, and love is spelled LUV. We'll be back.